Welcome back to Tied Up with the Morgans. Just about wrapping up the fence here for the goats, and I figured I'd show you the system we got here. The reason I never did a full tutorial is because I'm not an expert. I might be doing things wrong, and I don't want to put this out there on a how-to video, because it's not a how-to video. This is what I'm doing with what I have, and it seems to be working. So we're on the last section of fence right here. Got the gate here, fence here. I'm going with woven wire. I'll show you what I'm using. So this is the woven wire fence. There's some T-posts. This is pretty tight already, but with woven wire, it needs to be tight, very tight, and it is designed that way to be pulled tight. It's not like a welded wire. This stuff can stretch, right? And so they sell fence stretchers. They sell these metal contraptions that lock into place on here, and then there's hooks on them, and then you pull that. I didn't want to buy one, so I'm using a T-post. I weaved a T-post through here, as you can tell, just every other square, and put the T-post through. I'm using a toe strap right here, and it has worked so far on all the fencing that we've done. So yeah, and anyways, this is the last section I'm pulling here. And so I have the toe strap and the T-post hooked up to a come-along that I got at Royal King for like $25, and a chain wrapped around the gate post. And then it was laying down, this whole fence was laying down on the ground. And now as I crank here, makes it tighter, and it's standing it up. Oh, gotta flip my spring here. And then I'll do a little more, but I'm doing this all one-handed right now. So I'll get it a little more tight, and it will be standing up like this. And we'll go through with the T-post clips and put them on the T-posts. So that's what I'm doing. Here's the system. This is the come-along. I've never used one of these before. The come-along was a little intimidating. I've never used one before, and what I mean by that is it's all these levers and all this stuff's happening, this cable, these buttons, and I'm just terrified I'm gonna get my finger pinched somewhere. And so far nothing's happened. Really, it seems once I started to figure it out, and once I figured out how to use it, those fears went away. But yeah, this is it. I'm not gonna teach you how to use it. There's other videos on that because I don't know all of the terms, and yeah, I think most of the people watching this already have used one or know how to use one. But yeah, that's the come along with the chain on the gate post. You got the gate, and yeah, so I think that's about it. I'll show you here the fence. Like I said, we're using the woven wire, T-post clips, and the original plan was to use these wood posts in all of the corners and to build H-braces. And I think those look really nice. I love a good looking fence. Like I said, I've never done this before, but something about a nice fence with the wood posts, the H-braces done right, all of that looks awesome to me. But it's really expensive and a lot of time. Digging these wasn't bad, but to dig each corner, you need 2 holes each corner for these, and then the cost of these are a lot. I wish we had a lot more locust trees. We could make our own fence post or even cedar, but we don't. And anyway, so I had to buy these, and I did not want to buy however many I would need for that and the time. So I went with T-posts and in my corners, and I'll show you what I use. It's a much cheaper alternative. Yeah, it's not as strong, but it's pretty strong. And we're getting mini goats. We're not getting cattle. We're not getting a bull, anything like that. So I think this will be plenty strong for what we're getting. So these are called wedge locks. Let's see how these things fit into place here. And this is to replace an H-brace. And it's a much cheaper alternative because you're just using T-posts in your corners. And they are very, very strong. It does not budge at all. And so then you can pull on them like I'm doing down there in that corner. I have it set up on the corner and I'm pulling with the come along this way because you need it strong. If I just did it with a T-post just like this, the T-post might start to lean, your fence might get a little crooked, and you don't want that. But anyways, I just have a little bit of fencing to put here. And oh, the other thing why these work well is because the goats are going to be wanting to push on this a lot, and you want it nice and tight. And this is a tight fence for me, I think. I've never done this before, so maybe you're watching this and thinking, oh, that's too much slack. But it holds my body weight. It doesn't slack much. So I'm happy with it, and very happy with these. For one corner, it's I think it's $24 for these. So anyways, it's these little things that slide over here, this little lock system. And this is the first piece that goes on. And then you slide in the locking mechanism right here. And then you slide in these angle pieces here. You probably love the terminology I have here for everything, just making it up as I go. But anyways, yeah, so this one sleeve slides over right here. And all four sides of it, it has these little... man, I'm really spacing on words today. Anyways, it has these little knobs here that you can lock into place. The wedge slides up under that and locks into place. Same thing down there and here. And again, this is not a how-to video at all. This is how Levi did it. How Levi and Kate did it, because Kate was a big help as well. So there's the fence. We're on the last section here. Kate's been helping me. Kate has been a machine with the T-post clips. Much faster than I am with them. I don't know if I don't have the patience, but she's quick with them. We're gonna have to do a separate video on one of the projects Kate has been up to. Pretty impressive, I think. But we do have, so I mentioned there's electric. It is fully wired in here, but the wire was just run through the ground however long ago, and it was just a wire. There was no conduit, and that's been ripped up how many times I don't know. So we'd have to redig that, and then we'd have to get conduit, and I don't want to pay for all that right now. I was on the fence about it. I think it'd be a lot of money. I know that stuff's expensive, so we just decided to just go with solar, and Kate's been working on that. And so Kate's gonna probably do a separate video on her system, and it's pretty amazing what she figured out while I was at work. I'd come home and she'd have all this stuff. That is not my area, but she's doing great. But I wanted to show you this. I think is the biggest autumn olive I've ever seen. This is it right here. Let me turn the camera around. This is crazy. So we're on a little bit of a hill here. It slopes downward. But this autumn olive, it's like impossible to see here. I'm sorry, give me a second. Okay, that is the top of it right there. That's the top. This thing has been here who knows how long. And I had to cut some to get the fence in, but I left a lot of it so that they can just kind of feed on this. But look at this. These boots are pretty wide, and you can see how big that is. Give me a second here. So like a 4-inch stump. This one's much bigger. Yeah, that one's bigger. And that's not the biggest one, that's 4 inches, but man, this thing has been around a long time. And then you have this multiflora rose in here. Look how thick this multiflora rose is. This is crazy how old this is. I had to cut all that, but I left most of it because they're gonna wanna feed on a lot of this, but nasty stuff. When I was showing you in one of the tree videos, the autumn olive, It's right over here. Someone mentioned that in their area, the power company planted them a long time ago under the power lines. And then they realized how bad it was, so now they just use chippers. Well, right in here, this little clearing in here, that's a main power line that runs through here. I wonder if they did the same thing a long time ago, and that's where these came from, this autumn olive. I don't know, just what I've been thinking of. I think that made a lot of sense. That could be why this area, this way and this way, are lined with autumn olives. Because the power company isn't coming up here to use their brush cutters. They're doing it down there. So who knows? Just something I've been thinking about. I appreciated that comment. And it is funny how we learn from things, because a lot of the invasives were introduced that way. Even Multiflora rose, that was used because for erosion control. They would put that along stream banks and places that they didn't want soil eroding away. And they're like, hey, this stuff really helps to stabilize things. It helps prevent soil erosion. And then they realized how nasty and how it spreads. And here we are today, hoping goats can find some use for it in this little field. So we're here in this back corner, and that's the gate right there. And it's not attached yet, but you can see this is very tight, very tight. And it really, it doesn't take all that long. All you need is just a good anchor point to attach that come along to pull. And see right down the fence, looking good. I started attaching it to the T-posts, but this here is a game changer for $25. I mean, you can't beat that. What can you buy for $25 these days that can pull 2 ton? A come along from Rural King, the Hall Master. That's about it. But yeah, really like it. And like I said, it was a little intimidating in the beginning. Once I figured it out, it wasn't bad. But I had used that cedar tree, the only cedar we have, as an anchor point to pull the fence from down there this way, and then using the gate post. So yeah, fortunately, I have a lot of anchor points around me. I think that's the word, anchor point. That's what I'm calling it. But all around me are trees, so that helps. I know a lot of people, when they're doing this, they're in a big field with nothing around. So that's where you need a side-by-side, a tractor, some piece of equipment, a truck, something like that. Whereas in this case, everywhere I look, there's somewhere I can attach that come along to. In the beginning, I was using the side-by-side, and I realized, like, wait, it's easier to get the come along into position than it is to get the side-by-side. So we started to do that. My help just showed up. I'm putting the clips on, just got like 2 more posts. And then we use barbed staples on this, real big ones. And my help is here. He's got his gloves, his boots, and his binoculars. Ty was a huge help. He's a huge help every day. I'll have to show you what he did later. But anyways, I'm sitting here on the ground on my knees, putting these T-post clips on. I'm telling him, Ty, come on in. And he's telling me I can't. It's in the way. And I'm like, the gate's open. I forgot I got this whole come along system here. So I'm glad he communicated that to me, and we'll get him over here safely. Normally, you'd think a 4-year-old would just crawl under it, but I had told Ty that that's very dangerous yesterday, and he needs to stay away from it. I don't want him getting a finger pinched or something worse happening. I don't think it's going anywhere, but no place for a 4-year-old to be playing around. Ty, what is that? What's going to happen?
Goat's going to be sick.
Goat's going to be sick. Mm-hmm. So this is Indian hemp. Hemp dogbane is another name for it. It's a native plant. These are the little seed pods here. I love it. A lot of people are afraid of it because it's toxic, but a lot of our plants are toxic if you eat them. So don't eat them. You don't just eat things. But anyways, I don't think they're a big deal. They're a great pollinator. I've had hummingbirds, hundreds of bees, butterflies, all on this. There was a huge patch here this year. So many different pollinators. This is the flower here, really cool plant. And then we have Allegheny monkey flower right here. That's a native. Anyways, dogs don't really eat it. It is toxic to them. I've never heard of a dog dying from this. But goats, some people say they won't eat it, some say they will, and then they won't like it, and some say they may not know. And if you're not sure, to remove it. And so,
Dad,
yeah,
goat's gonna be sick.
goat's gonna be sick. Yep. So Ty worked on this. These ones are big. They're hard to get out. While Kate and I were working on the fence last night, I got to turn this around. So Ty knows a lot about nature because we're always out here and I'm always teaching him stuff about pollinators, about deer, about whatever. Trees, seeds. He's grown a lot of trees for a 4-year-old already. And while we were working on the fence, yeah, you're cleaning up the mess. Thank you. I will get my gloves. He wants me to help. But anyways, I taught Ty about pollinators briefly, and he loved watching them. And some people get worried, like, oh, there's bees, you don't want to get stung. I've never been stung whenever a bee has their food. They are not concerned about you. If they're on some good plants, they do not care about you. Ty did all of this by himself. There are a lot of plants in here. Far more than it looks like. He worked on this last night. And you can tell, well, you can't because you don't have it before, but this was all through here. And sure, he couldn't get the whole thing out because it's really hard to pull these right out of the ground because it's so dry right now. But he's been a machine working. Oh, butterfly. Black and yellow?
Yeah, it's black.
You like it?
It's black and yellow and blue.
Black and yellow and blue. I think it was a spotted red admiral. But yeah, Ty was a little upset about having to get rid of these. And he's done a good job though because he doesn't want the goats to get sick. There's a bunch of butterflies. Anyways, Ty, what do you want to show me?
Target.
The target? Ty has been shooting his bow every day. He's got like 5 different bows, but not bad. Ty, good job. While I was wrapping up the fence there, Ty is here. You know, Ty, the greatest archer in the world is Levi Morgan. Just not me. There's another Levi Morgan. Whoa! Nice. You missed. It's okay. It's been a long day. The fence has been done since this morning. Everything's done on the inside. I can't wait to show you all that. I think we'll just do that in a separate video. Like always, I think I rambled too much. But anyways, feels really good. We're really excited. And stay tuned. We'll show you the barn and the goats. We're getting the goats in the morning. Well, tomorrow afternoon. So, yes, stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the support. And we'll see you guys in the next video.